it really does put the point to how little they fact check before they send the president out there to make comments on very sensitive issues, whether it's something in the national news that has tempers flaring or, well, I mean, both of these are instances of that with the alleged whipping and this alleged case of a 10-year-old who needed an abortion, which may be a big lie. We don't know, but it's certainly not reportable. And it certainly shouldn't have wound up in a presidential address. And follow up now, and to the Washington Post credit, they were the first to note that there was only one source for the story. Then Jesse Waters had somebody on. It was the Attorney General of Ohio, and asked him, has there been any report? Because it was Ohio in which the 10-year-old allegedly lived and couldn't get an abortion, who then had to allegedly cross state lines to Indiana. And again, if a 10-year-old is pregnant, they're alleging this is a rape victim. And he said, has there been any sort of reporting about this? And the AG said, we have regular contact with prosecutors and local police and sheriffs. There's not a whisper anywhere about any of this. Now, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Sometimes the caregivers to a 10-year-old, I don't know, might not go to the law enforcement. I'd love to know why not. There's a duty to report in most circumstances. But all the more reason to check it out. Like, your spidey senses should be going up, certainly as a reporter, never mind as a politician who doesn't want to get too far out. And nobody did, because it fits the narrative.
It's an almost perfect story, too, because you can say, as this woman who was the one source, who is apparently quite an activist too, which I think that was making people's spidey senses tingle a little bit too. And again, like you, Megyn, I don't know if this story is true or not, but it's one that's very difficult to shoot down. So why? I mean, if you're going to make something up, this is a perfect one to do, because you can't. There's HIPAA. You can't betray a 10-year-old who's reporting something like this, and which is understandable. But in such a fraught political environment, I mean, we've mentioned how many cases here, between all of us. Covington Catholic, Michael Brown, the horse story, all of these things. The reason that Jill Biden is going to apologize for something like that, because it's a learning experience. It talks about how good you're trying to be good. You're trying to get better on these issues of race, and you can get some credit for it. These ones you don't apologize for because it fits the narrative. The point that everyone should always keep in their mind when they're, looking at news coverage, seeing these stories that might not add up or something, it's not that people are necessarily coming out and lying about news stories. They just aren't going to check these things out, because narrative matters a lot more than truth to most people in this business. And that is just a fact that I've seen in this business for years. It depresses me. And I think that, on our podcast, we're pretty schizophrenic when it comes, and that might be offensive to schizophrenic people. I apologize. We're very schizophrenic about ideology, because we don't really subscribe to, we just kind of are always investigating what the media is saying about certain things. And sometimes it's on the right, sometimes it's on the left. But there's always this overwhelming instinct to feed a narrative and then later see if it's true, and you're not going to be the one who investigates, but if it isn't true, you just shut your mouth and the damage has been done.
What you said and what Matt said just reminded me of something on the Michael Brown thing. So I was on the air covering that when it happened, and had been questioning the story and raising issues all along. And in the end there were 5 black witnesses who told Eric Holder's DOJ the guy did not have his hands up saying don't shoot. He charged at the officer, and that's when he got shot. Michael Brown did. Anyway, one of those, remember the CNN panel that then they put their hands up, or they held little signs that read hands up, don't shoot. One of them was Sunny Hostin, who was with CNN at the time and now is one of the hosts of The View. And I listened to her a couple weeks ago say, I don't get facts wrong. I don't get, and Joy Behar chimed in going, she's Sunny Hostin. She doesn't get facts wrong. And all I could think of was that stupid ass hands up, don't shoot. I mean, please, we could go through all day, her facts and her errors and her facts, but that one's so egregious. I don't remember the big apology on that. I really don't, because it didn't happen.
And not just that, we're living through a presidency right now, a Democratic presidency, right after a whole bunch of mainstream elite journalistic outlets went through this kind of spasm of saying we need more moral clarity. We need to call a lie by its name there. And so now we have Joe Biden What's Joe Biden doing? Joe Biden is saying, I'm going to the Middle East. It's the first time we haven't had active combat troops in the Middle East since 9/11. Well, that's not true. Okay. He just said that thing. It's not true. He's saying that all of inflation is because of Vladimir Putin. That's not true. He says things that aren't true every day, or at least every week. But I'm guessing every day. And it is not treated with anything like the same level of scrutiny and dudgeon and chyrons at the bottom of your screen unless you're watching cable news as Donald Trump. Now, I think Donald Trump lies more than probably any politician I can think of in the last 25 years. But that's also my memory starting to fog up with age. And so he's a special case. He treats things a little bit differently. But as we had frequently said during the Trump administration, like, okay, we're glad the people are really on high alert to call out Donald Trump's lies. We hope that they're accurate when they do that, and they're very frequently not. They're so ready to believe every single thing is a lie that their reporting standards stumble. But the most important thing that we wished for, knowing that it would never happen, is that same level of scrutiny would survive the change of team in the White House. And it has not.
Yeah.
Are you tired of feeling like someone's always watching you on the internet? Maybe the advertisers know too much about you. It's odd. Or you're just concerned about the privacy of your identity. Using incognito mode will not solve the problem either. IPVanish VPN is here for you. They will protect your right to privacy and help you stay anonymous online. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet without exposing your private details to these third parties. You can use IPVanish on your computer, your tablet, your phones, even devices like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. When you use IPVanish, all of your data is encrypted. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. It's that simple. IPVanish is right now offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's like them giving you 9 months for free. IPVanish is super easy to use. All you do is tap one button. You're instantly protected. So take your privacy back today with the brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Go to ipvanish.com/Megyn and use that promo code MEGYN to claim your 70% savings. ipvanish.com/Megyn. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.